next event from Randwick. So let's go there and join our caller, Terry Bailey.
Okay, Dean, these runners have arrived at the start for the running of the Expressway Stakes. Thorn Park came up very, very short on the tote at $1.30. He's eased out to $1.60. He's a millimetre better on track, has not moved from his opening call. Now, the horse they've backed in the race is Niello. He's firmed in about $4 late in betting. Has been well tried to win the race. 10.30, you're doing better on the tote. And Niello was always a little bit weak on the weak side in his looks department, but gee, he looked great. He has really gone from being a boy to a man, Niello, in the looks department. Thorn Park, you couldn't possibly fault him. He's trialled on the Kensington track. I can only imagine that Boss will just let him drop out of the gate, let them go, and then come to the outside, as far to the outside as he can get, and then let his big finishing sprint do the rest. But Niello, just on looks, Niello was just amazing how this horse is filled out. He's more muscular, he looks stronger. He's never been a big horse, but he just so much more power in him this prep by the looks of him. Now, Accelerator about to move forward. Zana's in the betting. She eased 250. She's come back in 50 cents on track. She's 10.60 on the tote. Before Too Long is out the gate. Has eased about $6. 12.80. Gordo 17.10. Sportsman 19.40. Omar Win, they always back it. It's come in about $40. $52 big overs in comparison. Tote much better. So Thorn Park $1.75. Lonhro won this race last year. Old Corral boy who hasn't won for a few years. He was placed in the event. Now here's Omar Win coming up, who of course, as I mentioned, has been well tried at a price, but then he's been always well tried right throughout his career. Corral boy moving in. Thorn Park about racing. Thorn Park jumped with them. He's going to settle about second last with Niello, and Before Too Long came out like a scalded cat wide out. It's burning across looking for the front and will clear Sportsman. Going very quickly is Gordo. Shag's not far away. Omar Win behind those. They were followed next of all by Zana. Accelerator. Then came Corral Boy. Thorn Park's quickly outside of him. Boss has got him away from the inside. Two further back then is Niello and last Bedouin. Before Too Long at the 650 by 3 lengths on Sportsman. 2 Gordo. 1 Omar Win. Then came Shag, Zana. Thorn Park starting to close on the outside. Running into traffic. Accelerator. Then Bedouin, Niello. Beedman trying to track up behind Boss on Thorn Park. And Corral Boy last. Before Too Long, a long leader at the 350 straightening. Led by 3 length Sportsman. 3 Thorn Park. He's 6 or 7 before the mare. They were followed by Gordo, and then came Niello. Before Too Long inside the 202 in front of Sportsman. Thorn Park's hitting his straps. He's still 3 behind them. Sportsman's got to Before Too Long. Thorn Park still coming with Accelerator, but it's Sportsman's day. Sportsman in front, and he wins it. Sportsman has beaten a photo between Accelerator, no luck in the run, and Thorn Park. Then Before Too Long, Niello and Gordo. Corral Boy next from Bedouin, Zana, Shags and Omar Win in the Expressway Stakes last home. Number 3, Sportsman, Christian Reith, who won the Summer Cup here for Graham Rogerson just recently, one of his career best victories, but he's eclipsed it with Sportsman. What a good little competitor he is. Before Too Long got a long lead. Sportsman did the chasing. Thorn Park, well, he just gave away too much ground possibly on straightening up, and Accelerators had no luck. He ran into dead end after dead end, but it's Sportsman winning it from either Thorn Park wide out or Accelerator. He overcame difficulties to win first up last prep, and Christian Reith had him out of the gate quickly. He let Before Too Long go. She led by 3 or 4, and Sportsman has gathered her in and has held the challenges. Thorn Park's run second, number 1. Accelerator, a great comeback by him. Chris Muntz finishing 3rd, and Before Too Long is held 4th. 3, 1, 5 and 10 have been confirmed by the judge. Time is 1:8:37. 1:8:37. 1:8:37. Now I can run back through the previous races. Exceed and Excel 1:8:27. Private Steer 1:8:31. And now Sportsman 1:8:37. And for my money, Exceed and Excel's effort is just incredible to do what he did. Sportsman on the tote, $15.80 and $3.50 number 3. Thorn Park $1.20, Accelerator $2.90, Exacta $37.90, Quinella $10.40, Trifecta $180.40.
Thank you, Terry. Yes, Sportsman getting back into 15.80 and 3.50 at the jump. He was showing $22 about 3 minutes before.
We'll watch for this run. Thanks. Pat. Thanks, mate. Pat Carey joining us. Dean, just quickly, I did wander down to where the Bushido and all those other horses were from the Cadbury Guineas. Bushido has recovered well. Initially, it didn't look too good with these extreme warm conditions, but they've got the water on the horse and he has improved. Elstrom, the Derby winner, heart rate very high as he left the track. They did as much here, and they'll get him back to the stables and improve him over the next 24 hours. But I think we may have a little bit more on this tomorrow morning on Racing Retro as well.
Thanks, Andrew. OK, that's good news about Bushido. Looked a little bit ordinary at the time, but that was on the Australian Guineas. If you missed the result, the winner was Reset for Dan Nikolic and Graham Rogerson, defeating the Queenslander Starcraft, and Under the Bridge ran third. On their way to the barrier at Flemington, and Gold Wells at 2 even and favourite. Doomben, well, this is a pretty open race. According to the ratings, we've got 4 on top: Pearly Kings, Johan Lover, Sudan, and Under Suspicion.
Field is ready then. Set for the Chester Manifold. They're off. Monahan Tweed jumping fast on the inside. Maccabi Diva jump well, and Hall immediately grabs hold and she drifts back towards the end. And Mr. Murphy pinged away well to sit outside Monahan Tweed, giving Gold Wells a nice trail third. Then Cumbria on the inside, about 4 lengths away to Thong Classic, followed by Thorns, 1.5 lengths to Turmeric, and 3 lengths Maccabi Diva. Monahan Tweed's running it solidly at the 1,000-metre mark by 3. Mr. Murphy second, 2 lengths to Cumbria. Gold Wells a half length away on the outside, and a break of 4 to 5 lengths further back is Thorns on the inside of Thong Classic. 2 lengths to Turmeric, and back last past the 800 Maccabi Diva. 12 off the leader. That's Monahan Tweed by 1.5 lengths. Mr. Murphy's had a beautiful trail. In third placing is Cumbria, the inside of Gold Wells, the favourite. Break of 3 lengths to Thong Classic, and then Thorns, Turmeric, and last is Maccabi Diva as they swing for home in the Chester Manifold. And it's Monahan Tweed first around the turn. In second placing, Mr. Murphy, and Gold Wells is out a little bit wider, and he's there to challenge with his run. He's under pressure now to reel in these leaders, and then Cumbria followed by Thorns and Maccabi Diva. It's Monahan Tweed tackled at the 200 metres by Mr. Murphy. Gold Wells can't go on. Monahan Tweed and Mr. Murphy settle down to fight it out. Mr. Murphy's answering the call. He put his nose in front. Monahan Tweed tries to go with him, but Mr. Murphy too good and wins it a half length. Mr. Murphy over Monahan Tweed, 4 or 5 to Gold Wells third, and then Thorns, and behind these to finish was Cumbria with Maccabi Diva, Thong Classic, and Turmeric. Mr. Murphy having the beautiful trail right behind the front runner and was too strong. Gold Wells having his chance, but they ran away from him. He was a bit flat-footed over the last couple of 100 metres. He couldn't sprint with the other two, and it's been Mr. Murphy a little too good on the day for Damien Oliver and Lee Friedman. Second placing going to number 8 Monahan Tweed. Denny Nikolic and Stephen Aldridge ran it very, very quickly in front. He's fought on well. They've run a very slick time, 1:21.1. That's the closest they've got to Lovey's record for a long, long time. No wonder Gold Wells was left in their wake. He couldn't run that sort of speed over the final couple of 100 metres. 2, 8 and 4 are the numbers. 2, 8 and 4. Fourth in went to number 12, Thorns, and fifth was number 1, Maccabi Diva. She's run 5th. 2, 8, 4, 12 and 1. Mr. Murphy, who won the Guineas on this day in his 3-year-old year in 2001, he's been a little bit hard to train on occasions, lost interest in racing at one stage of his career, and he's been a little bit of a battle through the last couple of years for Lee Friedman, but seemed to get a new lease on life when he went down to Rye to train, and he's come back this preparation in sparkling form with a second up victory after his first up second behind suit. Damien Oliver and Lee Friedman, it was made to order for him, getting that nice trail behind the front runner. Monahan Tweed fighting back well, but Mr. Murphy proving a little too good on the day. 2, 8 and 4 on race number 8, and of course the substitute was Gold Wells. Last on the card, the Flemington Hill 1000 takeout number 5. It's due to go at 5:10.
Thanks, Greg. OK, Mr. Murphy hits double figures today. That was his 10th career win, and he takes his stake earnings to up over the 1.3 million. Monahan Tweed second, Gold Wells third, 32.90 the try, and the fourth number to come. Now, Doomben, runners on their way to the barrier. We're about 5.5 minutes away from race number 6. Jim Byrne takes over from Zach Purton on Star Tell, and confirming John Powell as the rider for Treasure the Queeler. Very open market. Sir Dan the favourite at 4.40 over Under Suspicion and Star Tell. And with the latest on track, let's head back to Larry Olsen.
Dan, the numbers here are 13, 2, 1 and 14. I'm putting the 13 up. I had him in third place, but I'm going to put him straight up at the top here. Gee, he looks well in the enclosure. This fellow, he's beautifully drawn. Good run his last start up the Sunshine Coast behind Beamer. Just looking at him in the enclosure, he knocks your socks off. He's in really lovely shape. So I put him on top from the 2 Star Tell. He's another horse that'll get a lovely run from that 2 Alley. He looks beautiful. Lovely big grey horse, this fella. Just went down to Consular. Consular had to get all the breaks to beat him at his last start. She's got the weight. But then, of course, I put in top weight Burley Kings purely because he's got the allowance here. He's a horse just off the pace, and Under Suspicion, I'm putting him in for the 4th placing. He's another horse that should get the perfect run from the 1 Alley. Smart, big, strong fella on his day. A couple of other horses I thought looked well. I thought Rowboat, after his last run in Sydney, was very good. 5 Sammy looked well, and so did the 6 Skidor. But look, I'm very happy with Sedan. I think we get pretty fair value. But he's the one that they're wanting on course. They're coming a bit for him out in the ring now, so we're on the right pass. 13 to win from 2, 1 and 4. 14, Dean.
Righto, Larry. Sir Dan at 4.40, just easing out a fresh, and there's late support here for 1 Pearly Kings. Cheltenham race 6, 3, 10 and 2. Number 13, Spiker Dan, was 4th, and correct weight is there. Randwick race number 8. And there are the ratings for the light fingers, with Sharp on top ahead of Polar Success, Hinting and Focusing 7 from 1, 2 and 14. Sharp the favourite at 2.80, Polar Success at 5 and Lil Elsa at 9.40. So the light fingers coming up in about 13 minutes. We're about to look at them in the yard.
Now Focusing, who's had support, being led up, waiting on Crown Princess with Jimmy Cassidy in the saddle. Generosa to come forward. Dorky again very solid on track. Sharp just edging out. As I mentioned, Generosa is huge overs on the tote, $63. Continues to get out on the TAB, but has come in $20 on track. Polar Success looked in great order. Let's see if she can go on from that run first up. Crown Princess, Generosa, Lil Elsa to move forward, Santissima and Hinting. They really scaled the heights last prep. Now Hinting coming up to the machine, being led forward. Hugh Bowman riding. He's third at Caulfield behind French Bid. Now Lil Elsa comes forward. Generosa to move up with Crown Princess. Sharp looking to continue her great form this prep with a track record win under her belt last start. Timberina stands well with Niagara Falls. Windy Kate from the Gold Coast. We're just about ready for action. This is the Light Fingers, named after one of the great champion mares of the turf. Set. Racing. Hinting and Polar Success focusing away well with Crown Princess and Lil Elsa. Twin City going fast, showing speed. Ultimate Fever, Sharp one from the rail, and on the fence Niagara Falls. Twin City leads Niagara Falls, Sharp and Focusing. Ultimate Fever racing 5th. Crown Princess wide. Then Polar Success. Lil Elsa's right off the track. 1 Santissima, Cerise Jack at the rail. Dorky outside of it. They were followed by Hinting. Generosa, Timberina and Windy Kate run off her feet. Niagara Falls leads at the 600 metres mark by 2 lengths on Sharp. 3/4 Twin City, 1 away Focusing. Crown Princess very deep out. Lil Elsa making ground, the grey inside of it. Ultimate Fever. Santissima stays to the inner with Dorky behind those. Polar Success in traffic from Hinting. Into the straight. 400 metres to go. Niagara Falls in front. Sharp quickly collared it. Down the outside Focusing running on. They were followed by Hinting getting into the clear, finishing it off from Ultimate Fever, and Dorky's back near the inside. Sharp in front. Brown is nursing. Leads at the 100 metres mark from Hinting coming out after it. Niagara Falls boxes on well back near the inside, but it's Sharp in front. She's in grand form. Generosa late, but Sharp's going to get the cash. Sharp has beaten Generosa and third Hinting. Niagara Falls 4th from Focusing. Lil Elsa, Dorky, Ultimate Fever, Crown Princess, Timberina, Polar Success. Well back is Santissima with Twin City and Windy Kate. She was last all of the way. Sharp number 7. Another winner for Corey Brown and John Hawkes. And he had her out of the gate well. He just nursed her, and she's just racing in such great form. He He kept a grip on her all the way up the straight until the business end. Generosa has flashed through to run second. Hinting will be third. Niagara Falls will be fourth, but she is just racing in such outstanding form. She continues to take the step up. Her time is 1:8.72, the slowest of the distance for the day, 1:8.72. We stand by for the numbers. Generosa, as I mentioned, was well tried at a price. Brent Stanley will run second, and Hinting will be third, ridden by Hugh Bowman, who loomed as a bit of a threat at about the 200 metres mark, and Niagara Falls has run fourth. It's 7, 13, 2 and 10. Well, I've got to admit, I underrated Sharp. Last prep, she'd done a very good job. Her form at Rosehill had been outstanding. She looked the right horse for the race today, but then when the track started playing the way it did, that was always going to be a little concern. But Corey Brown knows her inside out. He just rode her and sat there. He didn't try to do too much on her. She was always travelling well, and when let down, she's accelerated beautifully. 3/4 by a short head, 1:8.72, 36.31. Here's the totes. Sharp 350, $1.60. Number 13, Generosa at 13.20. 2 Hinting, $4.10. Exacta, $170.80. Quinella, $126.80. Trifecta, $2,615.80.
And the first four, with number 10 Niagara Falls running fourth, has paid $75,059.50 and will confirm a quadrilla dividend for you very shortly. The numbers you need are 2, 1, 3 and 7, with number 3 Sportsman in the third leg, the trick. Smoky Island at Cheltenham is the
runner on Super Tab in particular, and Mutate number 10 has been spec'd, and there's some value on Super Tab, actually some very good value on.
Lights are flashing away. They're off. And Dance the Waves, not the best to bounce out. Barabba Road got away quickly with Amber Shimmer, and Flash in the Pan got away quickly. There's Snip Attack driving over. Mutated got out of the stalls fast and going quickly to My Conviction up the middle of the track as they've settled into stride. Critical List and Neo coming right up the middle of the course. They've settled a fair way back as they come to the 600 metres. Amber Shimmer went to the outside rail with Snip Attack, and they're the two leaders from the newcomer My Conviction in the Cerise Cap. Mutate just behind the leading bunch, and so is Dance the Waves. Coming up the middle is Neo and Critical List, and Portland Damask had to ease over their heels to get into clear galloping room, and Barabba Road's coming home. It's Snip Attack nearing the 200 metre mark with Mutate coming at it. Dance the Waves and Amber Shimmer now. Dance the Waves moved up with 150 metres to go to tackle Amber Shimmer. They come clear from Mutate and Portland Damask. It's Dance the Waves and Amber Shimmer coming to the line together now. Dance the Waves did the best, and Dance the Waves just beat Amber Shimmer. 3 lengths to Mutate third, and then Portland Damask followed in by Barabba Road and Snip Attack. A long break to Neo, and then came Flash in the Pan. Critical List dropped right out of it. He was a big drifter in the betting, and he's finished second last only, and last in My Conviction. Dance the Waves will get the money here, 56.2. We stand by for the judge's verdict. He and Amber Shimmer came clear from the clock tower to fight the race out, and Dance the Waves just doing a little bit too well. Number 9 living up to a very impressive trial performance at Randwick before coming down. First up from a spell, trained by Graham Begg and ridden by Mark Zara. Number 9 Dance the Waves first. Second placing to number 4 Amber Shimmer, Brady Cross and Matthew Ellerton. And the third place went to number 10 Mutate, ridden by Michael Rodd for David Hall. 9, 4 and 10. 9, 4, 10 official in the final event. Fourth in went to number 3 Portland Damask, a good run her first outing since the VRC Oaks. And at 5th was number 2 Snip Attack. Dance the Waves paid $6.50 the win, $2.50 the place. Amber Shimmer $3.70. Mutate paid $2.10. $6.50, $2.50 to winner, $3.70 second and $2.10 third. Quinella paid $40.90. Exacta $114.90. Trifecta $639 even. The last double $71.40 on 2 and 9. Very warm day. We had our tries and tribulations with the power failures, but the real power belonged to Reset, taking out brilliantly the Cadbury Australian Guineas. Hope you found a winner or two from the broadcast box. Good afternoon from Flemington.
Thanks, Greg. Greg Miles at Flemington today, and I guess the lead was there with Dance the Waves, with Graham Begg deciding to race it first up in Melbourne instead of Sydney, where it barrier trialled recently. And it's come home and beat Amber Shimmer. Amber Shimmer was the horse who seemed to be unaffected by the heat behind the barrier, where all the others had broken out into some sort of a sweat, but they've come away and fought it out. Now, the next at Doomben Race for the fillies and mares. Race Zabara is 5th pick in the market. Dan's about to join Chris Kearns, and also tell us a bit about a charity fundraiser coming up.
Crowd there last year, and everyone had a wonderful night, and it's great to see the St George, the legends or all-stars. There were some great names there, and we had a really great night, and so I say to all St George supporters out there, or even if you're not a St George supporter.
Lights are on. Set for the last. Good luck. Racing. My Tally slow to go, straight out the back with Dream Beauty, and Alcazar straight to the early lead. Going fast, Jacko. Lazaz Inspire with the blue cap going up to be 3rd. Kingston Classics 5th and 6th, but he's very wide. Architrave around Masquerado. A length Dream Beauty starting to improve deep out. Vareza 6th last the inside from Comfort's Cataclysm. They were followed by My Tally picking up ground now inside of Vareza. Well back 3rd last Desert Sachet, and 2 lengths away Zabara. Slipping down the side of the track at Alcazar the Pilot. In front by 2 lengths on Jacko, 2 Architrave, then Kingston Classic the centre, Inspire the rail from Dream Beauty. Masquerado off the track, picking up ground between runners, then is Lazaz. Inside of him making ground is My Tally. 1 away Vareza, then Desert Sachet. Comfort's wide out, a length Cataclysm, and 2 lengths away last of all as they come towards the home corner and being pushed along Zabara. On the swing, and the leader is Alcazar by a length and a half on Jacko. Architrave. My Tally stays to the inner from Kingston Classic. Dream Beauty to the outside, and then came Lazaz Inspire. They race past the 300, and Alcazar with a kick in the boot leads the way by 2.5 on Architrave. My Tally the inside, then came Jacko, but it's Alcazar in full flight at the 100. 3 lengths in front of My Tally. Architrave, they're making no impression. Alcazar's run them into the ground and won it by 3 lengths. Second, My Tally or Architrave in a photo from Inspire. Vareza a terrific run, finishing it off well. They were followed by Desert Sachet, then Dream Beauty, Jacko, Catechism. Behind those pulling up quickly is Kingston Classic with Lazaz Inspire, and Zabara, the last 2 Comforts, and Masquerado. Alcazar, Darren Beedman the winner, number 11. As was tipped by Ronnie, he was pretty keen on his chances this morning. I think the track might have turned him off just a little bit, but he still got the cash. Alcazar, Darren Beedman for John Hawkes, another winner for Beedman and another one for Hawkes. He went to the front, ran along, and as soon as they straightened up, there was really no chance of getting him. He was always travelling like a winner and has gone on to win it well. My Tally's in the photo, Jim Cassidy with Architrave for 2nd position. There won't be much between those. Duff tipped us one in the race was Vareza. He said, keep a watch on this, mark it down. It was a real good performance by her first up. Now after the photo, My Tally has run 2nd, number 6. 7 Architrave has finished 3rd, Lane Maloney. 4th going to 4 Inspire. 11, 6, 7, 4. The time is 1:23.25. 1:23.25. Here's the dividends. Alcazar on the tote, $6.80 and $2.40. Number 6 My Tally, $2.60, and 7 Architrave, $5. Exacta, $42.70. Quinella, $24.40. Trifecta, $793.70.
Thanks very much, Terry. Yeah, Alcazar has run them ragged there in the last at Randwick. 11.67. Darren Beedman pulls one back on Corey Brown, and that's 2 for the day for D. Beedman. Righto, now the next at Cheltenham, the last.
Park there at the start.